So, just like human beings, for society to be able to grow and flourish, it needs food. But the food that society takes is not the normal food. It has specific types of food that it takes in. That is to say, for our very machines to be able to work such that we are able to produce goods and we are able to provide services for individuals, there must be something that is feeding all the machinery, and that is fuel. That is what today we are going to be talking about: fuel and combustion technology. Fuel and combustion technology involves the study of materials used for producing energy and processes by which these materials are ignited and consumed to release energy. But the question then remains, what does it mean for something to be a fuel? A fuel is any material that can be consumed to produce energy. Fuels are typically substances that undergo combustion or other chemical reactions to release heat, which can then be transformed to other forms of energy. But that is to say, just like how human beings have different variety of foods and how the different types of food have different characteristics, it applies to fuels. Fuels come in different types. There are fossil fuels, there are biofuels, there are alternate fuels, there are renewable fuels. But why is fuel so important? And this takes me back to the very beginning. For us to be able to have that industrial society that we so much want, because we want a booming economy, we need to be able to do a couple of important things like power generation. We need to be able to produce power that we would use for our day-to-day activities. But equally, we need to be able to transport things from one place to the other. We need to be able to heat things. We need to be able to engage in that industrial process such that we are able to have that economic impact. All of these things require the presence of fuel, because it is fuel that is going to make sure that we are able to accrue that amount of energy to be able to use for society. Generally, fuels are composed of hydrocarbons. That is to say, they are made of carbon and hydrogen. And there might be some other elements that are present in the fuel in varying quantities. These elements may include, but not limited to, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and some trace materials, or trace metals to be precise. Some common impurities found in fuels include hydrogen sulfide, water, carbon monoxide, ash, and trace metals once again. But recognize that it is not enough for us to only have an understanding of what fuels are. We need to know the process in which they go through for us to be able to get that energy that we so much need. And that brings me to the idea of combustion. It is basically a chemical reaction where fuel reacts with an oxidant, usually oxygen, to produce heat and light. It can be expressed in the equation fuel plus oxygen, giving us carbon dioxide, water, and the energy that we need. But combustion has some certain characteristics: flammability, calorific value, burning velocity, ignition delay, combustion efficiency. What then are the stages of combustion? The first stage is the stage called ignition. And what basically happens during this process is that there is the initiation of combustion. The second stage is propagation, and that has to do with sustaining the combustion reaction. The final stage is termination, and that is when the combustion ends as the fuel or oxygen has been depleted. Combustion technology could be in internal combustion engines, external combustion engines, combustion turbines, or fuel cells. What are the factors then that affect combustion? One, fuel composition. The type of fuel it is will determine the rate of combustion. The oxygen supply, whether it is too much or whether it is too little, the temperature, the pressure, the mixing, the turbulence. What then are the types of combustion? Combustion could be complete, it could be incomplete, it could be premixed combustion, it could be diffused combustion. But recognize that even when we want to do so much for society, sometimes it comes at the expense of our environment. And that is the reason why there is the never ending cry for the protection of our environment. Because from the onset of the Industrial Revolution, so much harm has been done. And that is to say, in as much as fuels are very good, they are the reason why there is a lot of environmental pollution. They are also a very huge contributing factor to climate change, soil degradation, water pollution, health hazards, air pollution. But that does not mean that we stop producing energy, because the truth is we need energy for our day-to-day lives. What society has come to is a conclusion that we could find alternate fuels that do not produce the environment. We could use advanced combustion techniques. We could employ smart grid and energy storage. We could make sure that energy is very efficient, carbon capture and storage, sustainable aviation and marine fuels, electrification, digitalization and automation, energy storage integration. Thank you.